Hey, with Taboo Customs, this video today we will be fixing kind of a odd issue, and that is fixing our dipstick. What's happened is in this 03 Grand Cherokee behind me, the dipstick here, and this has got the 4.0 inline 6. What's happened is the top portion of this, which is just plastic, is broken off. Previous owner broke it off and could not get the dipstick back out, so ended up pushing it down the tube. So we will go in today and show you how to remove the tube and get that dipstick back out. Let's get started.
All right, so this should apply to pretty much all of the 4.0s, at least those made after 97 anyway. What this is another 4.0 dipstick. What happens is right here where this little O-ring is, there's a groove, and so there's a weak spot there. And when someone comes in here to grab it, and if they pull it to the side a little bit too hard, they can break that right there. That's happened in this Jeep. It's now pushed down about 1.5 inches, because once you do that, it's really hard to get it out, and if you just start pushing it down, you're pretty much shot. So now what we've got to do is we've got to take this dipstick tube out to be able to get that out of there easily. So what we've done now, we've gone, and down here there is a bar that's welded to about midway up the dipstick tube. It goes over to the block and then back here to a stud, which is pretty much like almost right between like number 5 and 6 cylinder. What you have to do first is there's probably going to be a couple of ground wires connected to that stud. You're going to have to take those off. That should probably be, right now for us, I think it was a 1/2 inch socket to get those off. We actually already pulled them off. Definitely count how many ground wires come off. You want to make sure the same ones go back on. Now, if someone has taken this off before, you may be in luck and you might be able to pull the dipstick tube out now. But if it's a stock one and it's like ours, it's actually underneath the stud. The stud has a middle piece on it that basically goes up against the block, and this bar is actually behind that. So we have to remove that stud, which can be a pain. Now on ours, it's external Torx and E8. If you don't have an external Torx, what you could do is get 2 nuts, get them down there, tighten them down onto each other, and then try to back the inner one, the one closest to the block, off. That's going to be pretty difficult, especially on like this Grand Cherokee here, because that stud is quite a ways back. So I'm hoping that this E8 will get that stud out, but there's a fair chance it may want to round it off, which would be bad too. Okay, so here we can see, like I said, it's an external Torx, and then there's this little head on the middle of it basically, and that plate is behind it, which really makes it a pain because a lot of people aren't going to have those external Torx. Now what we can do is pull out on that plate, and we will try to twist the tube a little bit and pull it out. And that's probably easier said than done. So we're just basically kind of trying to wiggle it back and forth, trying to work it up and out. Now a lot of times if you like try to pull on the bar quite a bit, you'd end up bending that bar, because the tube, like for ours, is pretty well stuck in there. So we did get it to spin, and we did that a lot by grabbing this top and using that to kind of twist it around. So once you can get it to spin, apply pressure up on it, twist it, and now we can hopefully finagle it out of here around everything. Well, I think I might have to, yeah. Let's see here. It's best if you don't, I mean, it'd be easier if I took these heater hoses off, but I don't really want to get coolant everywhere, so I'm trying to avoid that if I can. Tell you what, we could probably be smarter, work smarter, not harder. course, on the Grand Cherokee, I got the cowl in the way. So as you get up to the very top, it gets really tight. There we go. All right. And see, there's actually our dipstick and the broken piece. Okay, now for reassembly, we're going to do things a little bit different. We've actually gone and ground the paint off a little bit on this dipstick plate here on both sides, and the reason for that is we've already actually went in and we've reinstalled the stud, and we reinstalled that stud without putting this underneath it. I want to put it on top because if we have something happen again, I don't want to have to take that stud out again. So we're going to basically swap where this was, and we had to grind this off because I want to make sure that those grounds on there get a good contact with bare metal. So that's the reason for that. Now before you actually, I should have said this before, but before you pull this dipstick tube out, really, we probably should have told you, go down there, clean anything out from around the base of the dipstick where it goes into the block. That way, when you're reinstalling it, you're not, pushing crud down in there or leaves or anything else that might be bad. So basically, just wiggle it in as you reinstall it. Probably going to drop in pretty easy until you get down to those couple of detents. And then you're going to have to kind of use some force and wiggle it back and forth until you get it down there in place. Now for ours, we actually had to bent the bar a little bit on the dipstick tube, so we had to bend it back in place a little bit. Put your ground wires back on, don't forget about those. And then we are reinstalling that nut. Torque is going to be, well, pretty much as tight as we can get it down there. It's in a hard place, so they're not going to be able to get it that tight. We'll break it off though. Oh, of course, pain in the butt. I'll tell you what, we're going to start with an end wrench. Kind of back here so far, it's hard to get the ratchet to ratchet, so we won't do ratchet things. We'll break out the end wrench, get it kind of tightened down at least with that. All right, one last tip before we finish up here. Those ground wires there, as you turn that nut, are going to want to spin with the nut once you get towards the end. So highly recommend make sure those, as you keep those turned down as much as possible, so when you get that last bit and you're going to tighten it down, you don't put them in a bad bind. Oh, that's nice. So here's interesting. There's a ground strap right here. It goes from the bolt on this right here for the valve cover to the next valve cover bolt. Yeah, it's supposed to go to the firewall. I'm gonna have to fix that too. All right. There you have it.
All right, thank you for watching. As always, a like or subscribe is greatly appreciated. Visit taboocustoms.com for rust repair kits, skid plates, other Jeep related items. Thanks again.